Words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every word you speak is planting something into your future. You may not see it immediately, but what you declare today will take root and produce results in your life. If you constantly speak defeat, lack, or fear, don't be surprised when you see those things manifest. But when you start speaking victory, favor, and breakthrough, you begin to shape a future that aligns with the power of your words. Think about this. When you wake up in the morning and say, it's going to be a rough day, you've just set the course. You've already given your mind permission to look for everything that can go wrong. But if you wake up and declare, today is filled with opportunities, favor is surrounding me, and I am walking into new blessings, you are shifting your perspective and attracting the right things into your life. The words you speak over yourself matter. Many people unknowingly talk themselves out of their destiny. They say, I'll never be successful, I'll always struggle, or nothing good ever happens to me. And life responds accordingly. The words you repeatedly say become your reality. You cannot speak defeat and expect victory. You cannot talk about how impossible something is and still believe for a miracle. Your words and your faith must align. It's easy to talk about what's wrong, to complain about how unfair life is, or to dwell on past disappointments. But that only reinforces negativity and keeps you stuck. Instead, use your words to prophesy your future. Say, I am blessed, I am talented, I am strong, I am equipped for every challenge. When you do this, you are not just speaking empty words. You are declaring truth over your life, even in the face of difficulties. Be mindful of your words. When facing financial trouble, don't say, I'm always broke. Instead, declare, I am walking into financial increase. When dealing with health challenges, don't say, I'll never get better. Speak, I am healed, strong, and full of energy. When you begin to consistently declare positive, faith-filled words, something shifts. Your mind aligns with your words, your actions follow, and the doors of opportunity start opening. Faith is not about what you can see. It's about trusting in what you cannot yet see. It's easy to believe when everything is going your way, when the promotion comes, when the medical report is good, when the right door is open. But real faith is believing before the evidence shows up, standing firm when there's no sign of progress, and trusting even when everything around you says it's impossible. When a seed is planted underground, you don't see immediate growth. For a while, it looks like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, roots are forming, stretching, and preparing to break through. Just because you can't see movement doesn't mean things aren't shifting in your favor. The breakthrough you've been praying for, the opportunity you've been waiting on, the dream you've been believing for, it may not be visible yet, but that doesn't mean it's not on the way. The greatest victories often come after the longest seasons of waiting. But the wait is not a sign of abandonment, it's preparation. When things seem still, when the answer hasn't come, when you feel like giving up, that's when your faith is being tested the most. Will you believe in the unseen? Will you trust when there's no physical proof? Will you stay in faith even when doubt tries to whisper otherwise? Too often, people let what they see in the natural dictate their belief. They look at their bank account and think, I'll never get ahead. They see a closed door and say, it's over for me. They face a setback and assume this is the end. But faith says, I may not see the way, but I know a way is being made. I may not see the provision, but I know it's coming. I may not see the answer, but I trust that it's already in motion. History is filled with people who dared to believe in what they couldn't see. Inventors who worked tirelessly before their vision became reality. Leaders who pressed forward before the support arrived. Dreamers who pursued their calling long before anyone else recognized their potential. They didn't let the absence of proof stop them. They kept going, not because they saw it, but because they believed it. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. Too often, people carry the weight of past mistakes, failures, and disappointments, allowing them to dictate their future. They think, I've messed up too much, I've made too many wrong choices, or I'll never be able to move forward. But what happened before does not determine what comes next. The fact that you have breath in your lungs means that your story is still being written. It's easy to let shame and regret hold you back. Maybe you made a decision you wish you could undo. Maybe you walked away from an opportunity, hurt someone you cared about, or took the wrong path. But dwelling on what you cannot change will only keep you stuck. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not the labels that others have placed on you. The moment you stop letting your past define you is the moment you step into the future that was meant for you. Think about a GPS. If you take a wrong turn, it doesn't say, well, that's it, you're stuck. You'll never reach your destination. No, it recalculates and finds a new route. The same is true for life. Just because you took a detour doesn't mean you won't get to where you're supposed to be. There is always a way forward. Many people stay trapped in the past, not because they have to, but because they choose to believe the lie that their best days are behind them. They let a failed relationship, a business that didn't succeed, or a dream that didn't work out convince them that they'll never rise higher. But just because something didn't work out doesn't mean you are disqualified. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is part of the setup for something greater. When you keep replaying the past in your mind, you are giving power to something that no longer exists. You can't step into a new season while holding on to an old one. The key is to release what was so you can embrace what is to come. Let go of the guilt, let go of the shame, let go of the voice that tells you that you'll never be enough. What happened then does not define who you are now. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a mindset, a way of seeing the world, a powerful force that can shift your perspective, open doors, and bring peace in the midst of any circumstance. When you choose gratitude, you are choosing to focus on what is right instead of what is wrong, on what is working instead of what is missing, on the blessings you have rather than the things you lack. Too often, people are waiting for something big to happen before they feel grateful. They think, when I get that promotion, then I'll be happy. Or when I meet the right person, then I'll have joy. Or when I have more money, then I'll be thankful. But gratitude is not about what you don't have yet. It's about appreciating what you do have right now. The people who live the most fulfilled lives aren't necessarily the ones with the most. They are the ones who are most grateful for what they already have. Gratitude has the power to change the atmosphere around you. It's easy to complain, to focus on what's not going right, to dwell on how unfair life feels. But when you make the decision to be grateful, you take control of your mindset. Instead of saying, I have so many problems, you start saying, I have so many blessings. Instead of saying, nothing ever works out for me, you say, things are working together for my good. This shift in perspective doesn't just change your attitude, it changes your life. Gratitude also unlocks joy. You can have everything you ever wanted, but if you don't have gratitude, you'll always feel like something is missing. On the other hand, you can be going through a tough season, yet if you remain grateful, you'll find a strength that carries you through. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing to see the good even in the midst of difficulty. There is always something to be grateful for. Waking up this morning is a gift. Having food to eat, people who care about you, a roof over your head. These are all blessings that many take for granted. The more you focus on gratitude, the more you begin to see just how much you already have. Gratitude attracts more blessings, strengthens your faith, and brings a peace that surpasses understanding. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Too often, people mistake delay for denial. They pray for something, work toward a goal, believe for a breakthrough, and when it doesn't come in their expected time frame, they assume it's never coming. But delay is not a sign that your dream is denied. It's a sign that the timing is still being perfected. What you are waiting for may not be happening when you want it to, but that doesn't mean it's not in motion behind the scenes. Every great achievement, every answered prayer, every breakthrough requires patience. The most valuable things in life don't come instantly. A tree doesn't grow overnight. A masterpiece isn't created in a day. The best things take time to develop. And sometimes the delay is actually preparation. You may not see it now, but there's a reason for the waiting season. When something is delayed, it doesn't mean you aren't worthy of it. It doesn't mean it's not meant for you. It simply means the timing isn't right yet. There are things being aligned, people being positioned, and opportunities being arranged that you cannot see. Sometimes, if we were given what we wanted too soon, we wouldn't be ready for it. The delay is not a punishment. It's a setup for something even greater than you expected. Think about a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't put them in the ground and expect a harvest the next day. He understands that there is a process. There is watering, growth, and an unseen transformation beneath the surface before anything breaks through. The same principle applies to your dreams. Just because you don't see movement right now doesn't mean nothing is happening. What is growing beneath the surface is often far greater than what is visible in the moment. Many people give up too soon because they assume that waiting means it's not going to happen. They walk away from a dream, abandon a calling, or lose faith in a promise because it didn't come when they thought it would. But delay is not a stop sign. It's a reminder to keep believing. The time you spend waiting is not wasted. It's refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you so that when the door does open, you're ready to walk through it with confidence. Your words have creative power. What you declare over your life has the ability to shape your future, either pushing you toward your destiny or keeping you stuck in limitation. Too often, people speak against their own dreams without realizing it. They say, "I'll never get that opportunity. I don't have what it takes," or "It's too late for me." But if you want to see your dreams come to life, you have to speak life over them. When you speak words of faith, you are planting seeds for your future. You may not see immediate results, but something is happening in the unseen. Just like a seed buried in the soil takes time to sprout, the words you declare will begin to manifest at the right time. Instead of saying, "I'll never reach my goals," start saying, "Doors are opening for me." Instead of saying, "I don't have the right connections," declare, "The right people are coming into my life." Instead of saying, "It's too late," speak, "My best days are still ahead." The words you speak create an atmosphere around you. When you constantly speak defeat, fear, or doubt, you are building a wall between yourself and your dreams. But when you declare victory, success, and favor, you are making a way for those things to become your reality. Even when things don't look promising, don't speak about what you see, speak about what you believe. Your words should align with your faith, not your circumstances. Some of the greatest success stories started with people who refused to let their words kill their dreams. They didn't let setbacks discourage them. They didn't speak about how impossible it seemed. Instead, they spoke their vision into existence. They declared their success long before anyone else believed it. They saw themselves winning before they ever stepped into victory. That same principle applies to you. It's not enough to just think positively. You have to speak it. When you wake up in the morning, declare that today is filled with favor. When you're facing a challenge, declare that you have the strength to overcome it. When you're waiting for an opportunity, declare that it's already on the way. Your words are setting the course for your future. Every time you speak life over your dreams, you are reinforcing your faith, building momentum, and positioning yourself for the breakthrough that is already in motion. Success is not just about what you know or how hard you work. It's also about who you are connected to. The right people at the right time can open doors that no amount of effort can unlock on its own. One conversation, one introduction, one connection can shift the entire direction of your life. That's why it's so important to trust that the right people will show up when you need them. Too often, people get discouraged when they feel alone in their journey. They look around and think, "I don't have the right support, I don't know the right people," or "No one is helping me." But just because you don't see the connections yet doesn't mean they aren't coming. The right relationships are already being prepared behind the scenes. When the time is right, the right mentors, friends, and opportunities will align in ways you never expected. It's easy to chase after connections, trying to force relationships that aren't meant to be. But when you trust the process, the right people will be placed in your life without you having to manipulate or beg for their support. The ones who are supposed to help you won't have to be convinced. They will see the potential in you and will want to help you grow. Sometimes, before the right people arrive, the wrong people have to leave. You may have relationships in your life that are holding you back, discouraging you, or keeping you from stepping into your full potential. It can be painful when people walk away or when friendships shift, but every closed door is making space for something better. If certain people weren't meant to go where you're going, don't fight to hold on to them. Trust that their exit is part of your preparation. When the right people show up, things that seemed impossible suddenly become possible. A single connection can lead to an unexpected opportunity. A conversation with the right mentor can provide wisdom that changes the course of your journey. A friendship filled with encouragement can give you the strength to keep going when you feel like giving up. These divine connections don't happen by accident. They are orchestrated at the right time, in the right season, for the right purpose. Instead of worrying about who isn't in your life yet, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. The right people will recognize your potential, align with your vision, and push you closer to your destiny. Trust that when the time is right, the right doors will open, the right introductions will be made, and the right relationships will be placed in your path. Setbacks are not the end of the story. They are setups for something greater. Everyone faces disappointments, unexpected challenges, and moments where it feels like things are falling apart. But a setback doesn't mean you're defeated. It doesn't mean your dreams are over. In fact, setbacks often hold the key to the biggest comebacks. The way you respond to a setback determines whether it becomes a roadblock or a launching pad. Life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. You work hard for an opportunity and it falls through. You invest time and energy into a goal and it doesn't turn out the way you planned. You put your trust in something only to watch it slip away. In those moments, it's easy to feel discouraged, to question your path, and to wonder if you should give up. But what looks like a setback is often a divine detour, redirecting you to something even better. Some of the most successful people in history faced massive setbacks before achieving greatness. They didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel to rise higher. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who make a comeback is mindset. When you see a setback as the end, you stop trying. But when you see it as a lesson, as preparation, as a stepping stone, you shift your perspective. You start asking, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I come back stronger? Every setback carries a lesson. Maybe it's teaching you resilience. Maybe it's refining your vision. Maybe it's preparing you for something you aren't ready for yet. When something doesn't go as planned, it's easy to get bitter, to dwell on the disappointment, or to feel like life is unfair. But the key is not to stay in that place. Process the setback, but don't park in it. Learn from it, adjust your strategy, and keep moving forward. Comebacks happen when you refuse to let a loss define you. When you decide that failure is not final. When you choose to believe that no matter how far you've fallen, there's still a way forward. The comeback is always greater than the setback. When you use it as motivation instead of letting it break you. No matter how bad the situation looks, no matter how many times you've been knocked down, you have the power to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. There is more inside you than you realize, more potential, more strength, more purpose. You weren't created to live a life of mediocrity, to settle for good enough, or to just get by. You were designed with greatness in mind. There are dreams in your heart, talents within you, and opportunities ahead that you haven't even imagined yet. No matter where you are right now, no matter what you've been through, there is more waiting for you. Too often, people let their circumstances define them. They look at their background, their education, or their mistakes and think, this is as good as it gets. They believe the lie that they've reached their limit, that they'll never rise higher, that they weren't meant for more. But what's in your past doesn't determine what's in your future. The fact that you have a longing for something greater means there is something greater ahead. You may have faced setbacks, disappointments, or delays, but those are not signs that your destiny is limited. They are simply part of the process. Every challenge you've overcome, every lesson you've learned, every time you pushed forward when you wanted to quit, it's all preparing you for the next level. Growth isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it requires stretching beyond what feels safe, stepping out of the familiar and daring to believe that more is possible. The greatest danger is not failure, it's settling. It's allowing fear, doubt, or past experiences to convince you that you've reached your peak, when in reality, you've barely scratched the surface of what's possible. If you're still breathing, that means your story isn't finished. That means there are still dreams to chase, still goals to accomplish, still impact to be made. You haven't seen your best days yet. When you believe you are destined for more, you stop playing small. You stop letting fear dictate your decisions. You stop shrinking to fit into places you've outgrown. Instead, you start walking with confidence, expecting opportunities, and positioning yourself for increase. You start taking steps, no matter how small, toward the vision that's been placed inside you. There is more ahead than you can see right now. More open doors, more breakthroughs, more favor. Don't settle where you are. Don't let the past hold you back. Don't believe the lie that you've gone as far as you can go. You were made for more, and it's time to start walking in that truth. You were not created to live in fear, to shrink back, or to second guess your worth. You were designed to walk in boldness, to step into every opportunity with confidence, and to carry yourself with the assurance that you have everything you need to succeed. Boldness is not about arrogance. It's about knowing who you are, understanding your value, and refusing to let doubt or insecurity hold you back. Too many people live beneath their potential because they are waiting for permission to be confident. They think, when I have more experience, then I'll believe in myself. Or when people start recognizing my worth, then I'll start showing up differently. But confidence doesn't come from external validation. It comes from within. If you wait for others to affirm you, you may be waiting forever. You have to decide right now to believe in yourself, to trust your abilities, and to walk boldly in the direction of your dreams. Walking in boldness means refusing to let fear dictate your choices. It means taking action even when you feel uncertain. It means stepping into rooms where you may not feel qualified and carrying yourself like you belong, because you do. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Every time you push past self-doubt, every time you choose courage over comfort, every time you show up fully as yourself, you are strengthening your confidence. Boldness is also about how you speak to yourself. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, or what if I fail, you are reinforcing fear. But when you start saying, I am capable, I am prepared, I have what it takes, your mind begins to align with that truth. Your words shape your reality. If you want to walk in confidence, you have to speak it first. Confidence is magnetic. When you walk in boldness, you attract opportunities, relationships, and success. People are drawn to those who believe in themselves. The most successful individuals aren't necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to let fear keep them from showing up. They take chances. They ask for opportunities. They step into leadership, and they refuse to play small. No matter where you are right now, you can choose boldness. You can choose to believe in yourself even when others don't. You can choose to stop apologizing for who you are and start owning your gifts. You can choose to stand tall, to speak with authority, and to carry yourself like someone who is destined for greatness. Boldness is not something you wait for, it's something you step into. And when you do, doors will begin to open, paths will become clear, and you will step into the fullness of who you were meant to be.